So as you can see, this is not my normal setup. I want to take just a quick second, give you a rundown on what I need you to do today if you haven't been able to figure that out from the PDFs and everything that was posted up in the folder. Start in the text. If you were in class, you know this, we've talked about it. If you are one of the couple that are remote, I did not get a video made for the last thing. So this will give you a quick rundown. I want you to have the text open in one tab and the assignment open in the other. You're going to work on that assignment as you're reading and going through the text. The first 2 pages of each text is a repeat. It looks exactly the same because it is the same thing. It's the exact same pages. You don't have to read it again. That is just an intro marker to know that's where you were starting. The assignment for today and tomorrow, if we're at school, we haven't heard anything for sure, but in the event that we are not at school, this applies for tomorrow as well, is you're going to be taking a look at the feudal system that was set up in medieval Europe. This is after the time of Charlemagne, where you start having the establishment of the landowners becoming lords of their land when they take on the knights, who then become vassals, and the whole organization of how just the day-to-day life, how it was established back then. We talked about this very briefly when we looked at ancient Japan. Japan did have a feudal system as well. This mirrors it in a lot of ways. So there's not a huge amount of difference, but a lot of the names have been changed. Where before you had shoguns who were warlords, and then they became shoguns, which were essentially like small rulers of their areas, and then they served under the emperor. In this case, we had warlords who then became the rulers of small kingdoms. But then after Charlemagne, we have that breakdown, and we have the establishment of lords who are the landowners. So we've got a lot of the same names. We've got a lot of the same concepts. We just have a different way of approaching it with some different names, and we need to become familiar with those names. As you're reading, you will notice the vocabulary again on the left-hand side at the beginning of this section. And as we're reading through the text, it is bold. And then the first assignment we had vocabulary, where you were identifying which word. This one has true, false, but it's still based around that vocabulary. These are things that you need to get, acquainted with. We're going to come back to these. These are going to be things that are parts of the test. So I'm not just giving you these things to be filler or anything else because we're not at school. This is what we would be doing if we were in school. Obviously there would be more discussion based. And when we come back, we will discuss. But that's where I want you today. That's what I want you paying attention to. And that's where I need your focus to be. I have gotten word from a couple people that Schoology is giving some of y'all issues. I had one person who could not access anything in any class, but then I had some people who were completely fine. So I'm not sure what's going on today. If you start having problems with Schoology, wait a little bit, come back to it, try to refresh, see what happens. We'll go from there. Nothing else that I can think of off the top of my head. If you have any questions, send me a message on Schoology or send me an email, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. I've got my phone on me today. That's where I get my Schoology messages in my email on Wednesdays. So, and during school days, if you're remote and you write me, that's where I'm writing you back from. But no, like I said, nothing else that I can think of. Tomorrow, Friday, if we are not in school, I'll try to make an additional video just clarifying some stuff so we don't have to backtrack as much. But if we do have school, then I will clarify as much as I can when I can. Have a good one.